Here's a picture of me 5 years ago. And as you can tell, I have changed quite a bit. So at the time, I wanted to start a content-based business. However, I was spending over 3 hours every single day on TikTok on my phone, just wasting time. For the next 4 years, I made no progress with my business. It was just me watching YouTube videos on how to start a business, watching other people succeed, and then me sitting there on the sidelines, not knowing how I can do it for myself. However, within just 1 year, I started a profitable business at 16 years old. I grew my personal brand from 0 to over 400,000 followers. I wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I no longer have cravings for junk food, for social media, for video games, or for any of those other degenerate activities. So why did I do this? Well, the truth is, if you're an entrepreneur, you need to have control. And if you can't control your life, if you can't control your own actions, how do you expect to control your business? How do you expect to manage a team? So if you're struggling with video games, junk food, whatever it is, all the things, all the bad habits that are very common with a lot of people, this video is for you because I've been there before. I've struggled with all these habits and I've found ways to fix them. So I want to give you the most practical advice possible for you to actually fix these habits so you can be a successful entrepreneur. The first thing is to cut out all possible ties to the bad habits. So this means removing junk food from your house, putting your phone in a different room while you're working, even putting your Xbox or PlayStation, whatever it is, in your closet when you're not using it. We do this to create resistance. Whenever it comes down to the time where you have the craving to go on your phone, you have the craving to eat junk food, it's very difficult to do that thing because there's a wall in the way. There's resistance. In order to eat the junk food, you have to go to the store and buy some. You can't get the instant gratification. In order to go on your phone, you need to actually go out of your room, find your phone, and then maybe you have it powered off. You should have it powered off. So you have to power it back on, wait like 10 seconds. Then you have to, load it up, type your password and everything. It's creating as many roadblocks between the urge to the action to get the dopamine from that urge. So another example of this is I used to have a gaming PC, right? When I used to play Fortnite and Minecraft, whatever it was. At the time of that picture, I used to play video games all the time. And honestly, that's one of the main reasons I didn't have enough time to actually start a business. Get a new computer, like a computer that makes it very difficult for you to do the thing that you have the craving to do. So once I got a new computer, I couldn't play Fortnite, I couldn't play Minecraft because the games were installed on it. It's very easy to want to play video games when your computer's made for it and you have the games installed. So first thing would be delete video games from your computer. The whole lesson behind this is your environment is so much more powerful than your willpower. If you have your phone next to you while you're working, you shouldn't expect you to just not go on the phone. Like you're gonna wanna go on that phone. You go in your kitchen and go get a snack. Do you really think you're gonna grab an apple or fruit? No, you're gonna want to grab the junk food. That's for most people. Now for me, honestly, I'd grab the fruit. I'd grab the steak over the junk food. That's just from normalizing the action of eating healthy, and then you start to feel good when you eat healthy, so you don't even want to eat the junk food anyways. But that's over time, so it takes time to adapt, but at first you still have these bad habits. You still have these urges. So you need to find ways to cut out all possible ties to the bad habits. Okay, so now you're probably thinking there's a little problem here. You're going to find ways to bring those habits back, right? You're going to find ways to buy junk food. You're going to go out of your room to go on your phone, Maybe the habit is so bad, maybe you're so addicted to this one urge that nothing you do can make you avoid it because you're just going to find ways to find the phone, to find junk food, whatever it is, whatever the bad habit is. You're going to find ways to go back to it. The way around this is we must become aware of mindless behavior. All right, so we have the prefrontal cortex in our brain, right? And what that does is it helps us control behavior. It works with cognitive control, is what it's called. It helps us control the actions we take and what's right and what's wrong. But the sucky part is it's the first part of our brain to turn off whenever we're stressed. So the second it turns off, we go back to our bad habits. Therefore, it controls the habits we have, yet it turns off whenever we're stressed. So with most people with junk food and with smoking and going on their phone, they get stressed from the work they have or the struggles they're going through. So they resort to eating junk food, to going on their phone, to whatever it is. They resort to that bad habit in order to make themselves feel better. But in result, long-term thinking, they end up feeling worse because going on your phone is going to waste time, then you have more work later and you're going to feel less of yourself because you just gave into a negative action. So becoming aware of your habits while you're doing them activates the prefrontal cortex. So therefore you're thinking on logic rather than emotion. And that should be how you're thinking constantly. You should be trying to think with logic as much as possible. You know, if you're scrolling on your phone, if you're going on TikTok, watching TikTok Riz party videos, right? You want to be like actively thinking, oh, I'm on my phone right now. That's a negative action. I should probably stop. That's the mindset you want to get into. Every time you load up your phone, every time you start eating junk food, whatever it is, the bad habit is, you want to become aware of it. And when you become aware of it, you're going to be able to zoom out and see yourself and be like, this is super foolish what I'm doing, right? You have work to do. You're not where you want to be in life, yet you're doing these negative actions. You're giving into these bad habits. And that's just going to make you feel worse about yourself when you zoom out and look at it from a bystander's perspective, which is good because then you're seeing how bad it really is for you because you're thinking with logic rather than emotion. And the last tip I want to give you that honestly canceled out the first 2 tips in this video because of how powerful it is if you do it correctly is just becoming so busy, working so much that bad habits aren't even an option. Because think about it, if you're always working, if there's always things to do, you're not going to have time to go on your phone. So if your calendar is just always filled with things, right? If you're always doing stuff, I'll put up a picture of my calendar on the screen right now. It's just filled with tasks throughout the whole day. If you always have things like that going, I have this. So like this is a sheet essentially of all the tasks I have to do in a day. And I just time block them for every 30 minutes. So I know what I'm doing every 30 minutes of the day. Makes it easy for me. If I want to go on my phone during one of those 30 minutes, that task better be done in those 30 minutes because if not, then the next 30 minutes is going to be pushed and then, you know, the rest of my day is just ruined. So that's the big one. If you're an entrepreneur and you have time to play Xbox all day, you have time to scroll on TikTok and watch TikTok Riz party videos for 30 minutes, even just 30 minutes, then you probably aren't doing enough with your day. You should be working for like hours on end and it shouldn't be a problem. Like you should be so focused on your work, so focused on getting to the goal you want to get to that giving into bad habits, giving into urges and wasting time isn't even something on your mind. It's not even an option. So please just stop wasting your time. Go out there, go do something, go make a change, you know, actually progress your business. Don't let it stagnate there where you waste time because there are a lot better things you can do with your time than give into bad urges, give into bad habits. And I think you know that the problem would just be finding ways to avoid those habits. So to summarize everything, the first thing would be to completely cut out all ties to your bad habits. Throw away your gaming consoles, switch computers if you have to, put your phone in a different room, throw away all junk food. Make it as simple as possible for you to do good habits and avoid the bad ones. Second thing will be to be aware of yourself when you're doing bad habits, when you're giving into urges. Zoom out and see yourself from a bystander's perspective of how silly you look. You know, you're an entrepreneur. You're trying to actually grow a business and you're doing these things that are just super foolish and childish, honestly. Like you should have control over your life. If you don't have control over your life, how are you going to have control over your business? On top of that is to understand how powerful environment is. You know, make your environment as simple as possible to work. My environment right now is just the keyboard's right here. Got a mouse on my desk also. My water bottle is right here if I'm thirsty. On my to-do list, have a hard drive and a pen. Then of course, become so busy that wasting time isn't even an option. I spend most of my time helping entrepreneurs start and scale their personal brands. I've been able to do it for myself, going from 0 to over 400,000 followers in a single year and having videos on YouTube reach hundreds of thousands of people. So if you're interested in working directly with me, you can apply with the top link in the description. Now get off YouTube and get back to work because we both know there's a lot more work to do.